members of the congregation. You are now here on a Wednesday with Easy, the tech preacher. Truth to be told.
It's Wednesday, hey, tell me, are you ready? It's Wednesday, hey, tell me, are you ready? It's Wednesday, tell me, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Easy, tech preacher, yes indeed it's easy. Easy, the tech preacher, yes indeed it's easy. Easy, the tech preacher, yes indeed it's easy. Easy, the tech preacher. All the real wired ones, where you at? 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 All the real wired ones, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
Truth to be told. Truth to be told, damn it. All right. We're going to get into it. It's going to be a fun night tonight, especially when we just witnessed in the last 48 hours with cameras.
Hey. Hey.
Shout out to my VIPs in the building. We got the wired ones in the building. Thank y'all very much for participating in the festivities every week, every month, every year. This is how we do it. All right. We got a whole lot to talk about. We talked about this last week going into this week, that this stream we're going to dedicate to Oneplus.
Yes. Oneplus.
Oneplus. Now,
But why?
But why? Because they spent half a keynote address talking about cameras. Cameras. They talk about Hasselblad and cameras and this. We got the best image processing on the planet. But guess what happened? The YouTubers got it in their hands. And things change because it's trash.
I love it. I love it. Now you see why I call them Dumb Plus.
I mean, look, OnePlus really have to knock this one out the park. This is the win-all, be-all of 2021. This is a swim or sink. This is it. Swim or sink. This phone costs $1,100. Boy, if you get the high-end one, you know. $1,100.
Me and Ray, we are here when it comes to OnePlus. He says the reason why they're called OnePlus is because they're always trying to invite the camera, but it never shows up.
Oh, wow.
I feel you, Ray. I feel you.
Wow, Ray, calm down, young man.
The sort of video that really went deep and showed a lot of images is Mr. Mobile and Mr. Who's Your Boss, right? Mr. Who's Your Boss really went deep and showed comparison between the Galaxy S21 Ultra and the OnePlus 9. And man, it was not that good. I mean, it wasn't that good at all. I mean, I got blue phones that can shoot better than that.
Oh, wow. Hey, the Stylo 6 can shoot better than that. Huh?
Well, I had a Stylo 6 can shoot better than that.
Did the Stylo 6?
I got Motorola phones that can shoot better than that.
Isn't that Tariq? Isn't that Tariq phone, the Stylo 6? Isn't that his phone? Yeah, I know. You made him happy now, Eric.
Yeah, that's right. I got the Stylo 6. Well, I had the Stylo 6. Could shoot better than that.
Yeah, you know how they say, stand by your man. He stand by his phone.
Stand by your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, they gonna Tariq right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey. I mean, we got phones. I mean, I could pull out my Note 5. Could shoot better than that.
Note 5?
Like I have a whole different. I'll let
man.
you guys go in. I have a whole different thought on what's going on with OnePlus. But go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think, but truth to be told, I think what's gonna happen is once the phone get out in the wild, you're gonna get software updates. Software updates gonna probably fix most of
Yeah, they're gonna fix a lot of stuff.
But the problem is, would you give this to tech reviewers knowing your shit wasn't ready? That's the problem.
So this is my first take. This is my first take. You should have gotten a phone. The smaller channels like
Yeah.
LaShawn, Gigi, everybody on this panel should have gotten them. Juan Bagnell should have gotten them. TK Bay should have gotten them. That way y'all could pick them apart and show what they can improve on, right?
Right.
But in my opinion, the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro should have been like this. They lost the McLaren deal, right? What does McLaren compete in, Kimmy? What are some of the events that McLaren competes in? Is F1?
F1, sir.
So OnePlus 9 Pro, if I was running OnePlus, would never come out. It would have come out as the F1 edition. Oh, I'm not talking about Formula One, but guess what? It's going to be the F1 edition. It would have come out later when the cameras were ready. You have the ultra wide angle that is proving to be a pretty decent camera. It doesn't have the fringing at the ends. It has straight lines at the end. And what was killing it, if you zoomed in like far away and you saw like people riding bikes and stuff like that, there was edge detection issues with it. That's stuff that the average consumer is not going to pick out right away. They'll just see it's a strong camera. So you bring the OnePlus 9 out first, and then this is a special edition, but you're trying to compete with the big dogs.
Right.
Especially at that price.
At that price, then you give it to the tech reviewers that are going to eat you alive, just like they've been eating LG alive for years.
But that's the problem. I don't understand why this same thing what Microsoft did, right? The software wasn't ready, and all of a sudden what did the big reviewers do? They got killed. They ate their ass up.
They got and I know people in the chat and people in the channel know YouTubers that were posting on Twitter. I'm excited about this OnePlus 9 Pro.
Right.
I'm not ordering the OnePlus 9 Pro after they saw the big YouTubers kill it.
But they act like they don't test these devices out and know they have said problems.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason I'm like, you could have easily done what, you know. And like I said, hey, I've told you, I've been upfront about this guy. I've been upfront. It's not the best cameras, but it's consistent. Yes. And the thing is, it's not saying it's $1,000. It's like, hey, buy me for $799. Let's have some fun. You know what I'm saying? It's at a reasonable price.
The problem is OnePlus is toting and putting this high price point on this device, saying they got the best. I mean, they slapping a reputable company name on the back of this. Like it's like saying that we have the best cameras because we partnered with one of the best camera manufacturers on the planet. That's the thing.
That's the thing. And the thing is hey, I think the partnership was good. I'm not mad at the partnership. But if the phone ain't ready, you can't say I partnered with someone and bring out trash. You see what I'm saying? It's got to work right off the bat.
And how much did they partner with them? Because I heard that it's not the main camera or the ultra wide that they
$150 million.
I thought wasn't it just really the image processing, the color stuff, right?
The image processing and the color. I'm trash.
But LaShawn, you and I know that. Everybody on the panel knows that. The average consumer is not going to know that. They're going to be like, they partner with Hasselblad. They're probably going to think they made the sensors.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
At this point, it's more like they partnered with Hasselback. Hasselhoff.
I call him Hasselback.
No, they partnered up with trash.
You stupid.
You see, Dexter Cumberbatch said it. OnePlus lost their identity. If they had done what I said, their identity would be back. The special edition would have been the F1, and then they would have the OnePlus 7. And they would have been right back at the old group.
I never understood that. Even before I started watching F1, why would you lose that partnership and not do a McLaren phone anymore?
Right.
I agree. But the thing is, you could, like I said, pull a fast one. That would be, I would just call it the F1 and just like, hey, we're bringing back the F1 edition. Oh, you've never had an F1 edition? Oh, yeah, never mind that. Just play it off. And then you sell the OnePlus 9. That's your flagship, but the special edition is here. And when it comes out, everything is ready.
Right.
Because they lost sales. They literally came out and they're going to lose sales.
Yeah.
Right now.
Because nobody go buy this $1,000 phone now. No, the cameras are trash.
No.
Yeah, and both of them are exactly the same, right? It's
Yeah,
the
all of
IP
them.
rating.
No. So
Yeah, one
this
of them
is the
have
thing. You're not
IP
exactly
ratings.
One of
and-
them-
what it
Right,
is. One, the 9 has a telephoto lens. All right.
Uh-huh.
And the sensor, the main sensor,
Mhm.
is different. It's still a
Okay.
48 megapixels. So
Mhm.
really, the it's the ultra wide that's special on the OnePlus anyway, right? So they're basically the same, but there is a difference between. But the issues is they're having the most problems with the telephoto and the main sensor. That's where they're having the issues at.
Isn't
The,
it
the main
telephoto?
one that you're using, because think about it, if you're doing ultra
Say
wide,
goodbye.
you thank you.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Easy. It's like when you pull out your camera,
Isn't it
most
a
of the time you're in your
monochrome?
shoe. So there's a black and white camera.
Yeah, it's a
on both of
monochrome
them.
on that
Yeah.
bitch too.
So this is the thing. Black and white camera is on the OnePlus 9. They were like, we're gonna drop the telephoto. Who
Mhm.
cares about a black
2
and white
megapixel.
sensor? Yeah, but who cares about a black and
Yeah.
white sensor?
You
Yeah,
Just
change-
turn your saturation all the way down.
like
good.
Catwoman just did.
Exactly. Thank you.
Catwoman
They're like, you'll get
just
more
explained
depth. You'll get more depth with that extra 2 megapixel
it.
camera.
Yeah, boy. Eric, like he at the bar. You need to shake it.
Yeah.
That's
Shake it,
right.
boy. Oh man.
Hey, Eric is like, we don't buy no drinks at the bar. We pop champagne. Let me
Right.
He's like,
You
I'm
know,
popping
so
that Jameson.
the messed up thing about it is, I was anticipating on this phone. Like, I'm ready to buy it. I'm ready to, to put it against the big dogs and stuff like that. And all of a sudden,
No.
They were talking that
telling you,
talk.
And this is not to put them down. If someone wants a OnePlus, I recommend you hold on to your old Pixel, your old Samsung, and your old iPhone, and then just get the OnePlus 9. If you want it so bad, then you got a fast phone, all that stuff. Pull it out for the ultra wide, and then use the main camera on the other one. In your phone.
Damn, that means you got to make sure you carry two
two
phones. Huh?
phones. You got to carry 2 phones. Hey, you're gonna be like 2 phones for free.
You got to carry 2 phones.
You got to carry 2 phones.
Damn.
So how do you feel about
Sorry,
Kendall?
man.
How do you feel about Kendall Gray's statement?
Kendall, should OnePlus buy an LG and team up? Kendall, if they had the money, yes, but I don't think they have the money for that.
Yeah,
I think. LG got the cameras down pat, right?
Oh,
OnePlus got the speed and the
That's
software updates. I can see something. I can vision emerging with that.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think OnePlus got the capital though.
I don't think they have the capital. I think that's where
LG is losing billions of dollars. That means that you got to be.
And the thing is, what Kendall's saying,
billions.
I think so many people would move over to OnePlus. It's not even funny. The people that know, because they're like quad DAC, good camera,
right,
speed, stock Android.
Right. I don't know, man. I think for the most part, I think OnePlus got a problem.
OnePlus has an
issue.
And if you looked how slick Samsung was, because Samsung peeped that the value is in the OnePlus 9, so they're like $729. Guess what? Our S21 Plus is $799 now. So why buy the OnePlus 9 when you just buy the S21 Plus?
That's right.
All the cameras work.
That's right.
You don't have to
Samsung ain't dumb.
Samsung is not dumb, man.
Smoking the Joe and say, hey, y'all cameras are trash, but guess what? Our cameras ain't trash. It's been proven. Come on to Samsung land, and we gonna give you the phone for the same price. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I the only people really is going to probably buy the OnePlus 9 is diehard fans. That's it.
Yep.
The fans.
Weird thing to me is Kimmy has the most experience on the panel with imports. Most of their phones are old Oppos, right? Why in the hell can't you get the camera right, man? That's what I can't get it. I'm like, if you're getting the camera,
they
the body,
the same umbrella with them. Vivo, my Vivo camera is wonderful.
Yeah.
What?
Get it.
Why they can't get it right?
Maybe they're doing too much.
I don't know.
You try to
And
do
what's
so
so
much,
funny?
you do too much.
Yeah.
When there'd be times where Kimmy would send a picture, like she got a new Vivo or something like that. She'd send a picture, and hey, guess what? I don't want to guess the pixel because I'm like, I know she didn't get the pixel, But that's how good the photos were. And like she would be doing portrait mode photos, and you would try to have to guess. I can't do that with OnePlus. I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely this is a OnePlus.
What is it? That
Shout
Hasselblad
out to the cuz. My cuz, he in the building. He said, "Man, this sucks."
What up, cuz?
OnePlus to LG.
I never
My
thought
LG
about
made
that.
me
Barry.
go
That's a
to
good
the
point.
Oh wow.
Damn, bruh. I feel sorry for you, cuz. I mean, look, Samsung right now looking good right now. Look, Samsung, Google, Motorola, they all Apple, all of them looking good right now. You know why? It's because it's proven. I mean, Samsung go make sure your cameras gonna be straight.
Yeah.
Now they coming out with 3-4 year software updates. Now they coming out with good price devices. It's hard not to go to Samsung.
Yeah,
it's
hard.
really hard not to go to
But we're
Samsung.
gonna piss off all the OnePlus fanboys because
Well, I know they're gonna hit me in the comments and call me out. I'm at the, I'm being to ban and delete a whole bunch of them at the screen.
No, but like I'm not hating. I'm just calling like I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just calling.
we did it and people got pissed. So,
Yeah. Hey, OnePlus guys, you know me right now. I was big on the ROG. I'm like, you can't buy that phone based on the durability. I can't, I can't anyone buy it. So I'm an equal opportunity hater, if you will. If you want to call me a hater.
OnePlus really partnered.
Go find Hasselblad.
Fuck him.
He's a football player.
Okay.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I like OnePlus 7 Pro. I got the phone. Very fast phone. Listen, OnePlus haven't updated the phone to Android 11 yet. They used to be good at that. OnePlus used to be good at giving you software updates quick, fast. Soon as the next operating system come out, you gonna have it the next day. Nah,
maybe we should call
what the hell happened? The software updates are terrible.
Hasselblad.
Terrible, man.
Yeah. So now you got OnePlus devices that's not even getting software updates. That's unheard of. And
Samsung has good price devices in all caps. Hey, I have to agree. I don't think they're good price unless you're getting like the lower level ones.
So the FE
flagships are kind of expensive.
The 20 FE is $600,
but that's not a flagship, Eric.
But that is.
No.
865, 8 gigs of RAM.
I'm saying no. If you go ask somebody about the FE, how many people really know about the FE?
But that was they were their highest selling phone in 2020. The FE was the highest because the S20 was a failure.
Yeah, my dad
the Galaxy S20 FE was the highest selling Samsung phone in 2020.
But I'm saying it's just not, when people start talking Galaxy, they think
right.
S
You talk about
the
S20.
Note.
Galaxy.
Well, it's a Galaxy.
I mean, the 21, the S21 is what, $700, $799.
A regular.
Regular.
Yeah, I mean, you gonna pay $1,200 for the big dog.
Mm-hmm.
The iPhone 12 Pro Max, you gonna pay $1,200 for.
You gonna pay? Yeah.
Yeah. But would you pay $1,100 for a OnePlus 9 Pro?
Hell no.
No, I really think.
And Lethal, I agree with Art though.
Yeah, I think the value is in the OnePlus 9, not the Pro.
Yeah, if you're gonna get one, you better get that 9.
Get that one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if the phone was $600, we wouldn't give a shit about the cameras. But for $1,100,
yeah,
you better be up there with the Pro Max, iPhone 12 Pro Max, and Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. You have to be in that same ballpark.
We don't know yet, Kendall, but I know I want one.
And everything. You got to be up there.
I want that trifold.
Oh yeah, it looks sweet.
The trifecta.
That thing gonna be high. Ooh, that thing gonna be high. That tripod.
That thing gonna be as high.
Don't make me want it any less.
Yeah, that price tag gonna be about as high as
3 racks. That thing gonna be 3 racks easy. Look, they only gonna make about 100 of them, and it's gonna be over
100 of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the Fold 2, where the cases won't be available and all that stuff.
Right.
And then when people start getting them and they start filling them, like then they have to start making more.
Then I can start another case journey.
Yeah.
Because if that trifold comes out and Easy and Kim are walking around in an Apple store, what phone is is that? What is
Like,
going on?
what?
Right.
Because it's gonna
You
look
You can't do
like
this with an iPhone.
Right. Like, if it don't
Look like
fold,
this.
it's old.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
If it don't fold, it's old, baby.
it's gonna look like this.
There it is.
That's right. Ooh. If it don't fold,
That
it's old.
snake.
That's right. If it don't fold, it's old. What up? What up? Oh, not feeling too well tonight. Sorry about that, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, feel better,
Hope you
buddy.
feel better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Get
Catch the
your
replay.
hit of this. You'll be all right. Get your hit of this. You want to feel all right? Get your hit of the good stuff.
Hit of this. The good stuff.
That's right. Just get one.
And
hit,
nobody's
man.
bashing LG, Tariq. We're
No,
just talking
no.
about the
LG,
fact that
yeah.
they won't be around much longer.
And Tariq, just to let you know,
really,
everybody on
team?
the panel likes LG. The only thing we've called them out about was the Stylo 6. The other phones are great. They just don't know how to market their phone.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for this shit.
That's kind of a perfect picture for the situation.
He said that the OnePlus 9.
Oh yeah, they got a whole bunch of. They fix a lot of things.
Didn't they send out like a 5 or 10 gig?
Oh yeah, they fix a lot. Like I said, I'm sticking with it. The OnePlus 9 is a solid. That's a solid value.
But the problem is they sent out the update after the YouTubers that made.
Oh yeah,
videos
after the
about
YouTubers killed it.
That's the
Exactly.
problem.
You can't do that. They
You
should have
can't
held.
do that.
They should have held the
yeah.
OnePlus 9. No Pro. No YouTuber should have got the Pro. You see what I'm saying? And if they had held back, they'd be good.
You know what this
You know
reminds me of?
they're gonna
Eric?
get it, and they're gonna recant their statement and be like, "Oh,
No,
well,
they're not gonna
If
recant.
they get it,
They're not
if they
gonna
get it, because you know them,
Hey,
they normally
right,
get
they
it
don't
and then
care.
they're gone.
You
Shit,
know why I said they're
trying to
not
get
going to recant?
long-term updates.
They're not going to
Those are the
recant
big
because
YouTubers.
after that S20 Ultra got 10 updates last year, didn't none of them recant?
No,
Didn't none of them
Right,
recant?
that was it was up to you gotta be subscribed to Easy Computer Solution.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Shit. I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you look at after they made their videos trashing the camera, then you gonna come out with a software update. And look, the bigger YouTuber than they already sending the phone back. They already done.
They've already killed it.
And the problem
Right,
is
yeah.
and the problem is people trying to say, well, this is just the YouTubers. They've only been using it since today. They don't have this
No,
damn
they've been
phone
having
for
it
almost a month.
No, they just couldn't say nothing before now.
Right. They've been having look MKBHD and all look, Mr. Who's Your Boss had the phone and went to a wedding and all kinds of stuff with the phone. I mean, he's been having it for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, MKBH it said whatever the hell his name is.
Mr. Mobile went
he
on
had
a
it.
road trip with the
Right.
phone.
3 weeks. He said he had it 3 weeks.
And
Yeah,
Lethal, I
having
just
it
like to
3 4
say,
weeks.
Lethal, I often get phones that come out of the box with an update, so that's not anything new.
It's nothing new. It's just when you are in LG's position and OnePlus's position, you don't have it in the hands of those reviewers before it's released.
Exactly.
Because if it's
First
not
impressions.
fixed, you're gonna get killed. And
That's
that's what they
right.
do.
Look at HTC. Yeah, HTC probably fixed the phone. Look at Microsoft. I saw a video last week that Microsoft fixed all the issues with their devices, but it's 6 months late. The YouTuber then bashed it, tore it up from ear to ear. It's done.
I just remember not watching. I started 2 videos last year when the 4A came out, and the first thing that was said was, "Yeah, I'm sitting here. It seems like a solid phone, but 60 hertz. It's got a 60 hertz display." And I'm like, you're not going to say anything when Apple comes out with their 60 hertz display, later on.
No, they'll say it, but they'll be like the Pixel 4a 60 hertz display. Wish it was 120, but I'm not really feeling the 60 hertz. iPhone comes out and they're like, it's got a 60 hertz display, but it's so smooth, you almost can't tell the difference.
Right. Hypocritical. I know it's hypocritical. It's very hypocritical. It's hypocritical.
Yeah. Yep.
And so think about this. If OnePlus gave the tech reviewers the phone 3 weeks ago, a month ago, or 2 months ago, God damn it, have the software updates before they release it. I mean, that to me is you didn't killed yourself at that point.
You killed yourself. You've killed it.
You're done.
You are done.
Even if it's
Done,
fixed,
done.
How you gonna recover?
You done fucked up. You know that,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah,
And
you
think
fucked
about
up,
this.
yeah.
You
I
know you
don't,
fucked
I don't
up.
have 1 million subscribers. You think about that. We don't have millions of subscribers. People don't watch us. Fuck. So if I make a video about it, they wouldn't give a shit. They're gonna tell me in the comments, well, MKBAD said this. Or Mr. Who's Your Boss said this. You ain't shit. And that's the problem. Once a big YouTuber tear it up, by the time us smaller content creators, I'm sorry, other content creators get it. I ain't gonna say, the other words, y'all, you know. When other content creators get it, nobody don't watch us, so they ain't gonna give a shit. Mr. Who's Your Boss and all the big YouTubers, they sit around with millions, and I ain't mad at them, but we not gonna make no difference. Like I don't believe that we ain't gonna make no difference. Like the damage is done. Only thing I'm gonna have is a lot of trolls in my comments telling me what such and such said in their video. Nah, I'm saying something different. That's all I'm gonna get.
Yeah, exactly. And why are you saying it different?
Right?
Yeah, and they're gonna challenge you.
Must be getting paid by so and so.
Exactly. Yeah.
So-and-so,
Everybody said it was.
Everybody said it was trash, and now you saying it's good.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
so that puts a lot of us in a very difficult situation. That do I really want to review the OnePlus 9? I don't want to get. I mean, I don't have to deal with trolls.
Ooh,
and,
hey, good point. Dexter Cumberbatch. Essential phone never recovered.
Never recovered.
Never recovered.
Look, the software updates fixed
everything.
Cameras,
the only thing they couldn't do was cameras. But when they dropped the price and everything was fixed, it was a great phone.
It was a great phone.
When you are a smaller company, people aren't going to give you the grace that they're going to give Samsung and Apple.
Right. Mm-hmm. They not.
Yeah.
The problem, the biggest problem is that if you go, this is do or die for OnePlus.
Oh, it's totally do or die. And the thing is, and we can all sit here and talk about, it's going to be iPhone, Samsung, and Pixel, right? Over in the States. I'm not talking about Huawei and Xiaomi and Oppo and all those over. But literally,
oh my god!
Hold on. Oh yeah, sorry about that. But the bottom line is when Samsung comes out with an A event,
right,
they have an S event, and they'll probably have a Z event. You got to bring it. Samsung is stepping up their game. They're like, guess what? Hey, we got competition. We're bringing it.
Samsung got the pedal to the metal. They know what's happening for the community right now. They know that, hey, if you want a folded device, they're gonna give you 3, right? 3 folded devices coming out. You got the Z Flip. You're gonna have the Fold 3. Then you're gonna have this trifold. They're not stopping, man.
They're not playing around. They're not playing around.
They're not playing around. That means that it's no room for error. No. That means when you do a release, you better bring the thunder. Especially if you're gonna charge $1,000 for it. You don't have no error. Oh, well, yeah, no excuses, man. Like it's no excuses. When you give the phones to the bigger YouTubers, when you give it to the bigger channels, when you give it to the reviewers, you have to make sure that phone is ready for prime time. Ain't no excuses about, we got to wait for a software update. I promise you it's gonna be out before it be released. Well, guess what? It's too late because you got all your main people that then slammed the phone.
They've slammed
and it's hard to recover.
It's hard to recover.
Shout out to Wine. You listen, I go through that, Wine. He go through it too. We come out with videos after software updates and talk about how good the phone is, that they fixed this and fixed that. The problem is it's too late.
Your cousin want a Huawei.
Who cousin?
Your cousin.
Your cousin.
Your cousin.
Thank you for the super chat. Well, I mean, it's a different administration going on, and you know what I'm saying? So you may see Huawei.
You might see
it. Up and down. You might see Huawei up and down. All you gotta do is listen. You know what it all boils down to, right? The briefcase, right?
Yes, the briefcase.
The briefcase. Also, all it is a briefcase in the back of the truck.
Hasselblad.
Undisclosed amount of money.
Hasselblad.
Y'all are killing me with all these
so much.
Yeah, and that's what's sad is OnePlus really could have landed the plane. You know, I mean, they could have just waited a couple more weeks.
Hey, they need call payback.
The bottom line is engineering works with marketing.
They need to stop lying to us.
But also they need to stop lying. But the thing is, they were talking to engineering. Engineering was telling them we are a couple of weeks out. They're telling that we'll have this, and
if they're doing updates, clearly
let it go. Yeah. Let it go. Get it to. Please don't send it to Juan Bagnell. Please don't send it to Please don't send it to Easy. Please don't send it to everybody on this panel. Give it to the people that are just going to destroy the phone and move on to the next big thing.
I think Juan is right. A lot of these companies, they don't care if we're the beta tester. Samsung does it all the time. Yeah. Oh, you'll have this feature later on.
Yeah,
it's coming.
But the thing is, they have to realize that they're in it. I agree. All of them do.
But the bigger
Samsung can do it. Apple, iPhone can do it. OnePlus, you need to home run right now.
It. Yeah, no. It's like you got you got Samsung. You got Apple, and they can make mistakes, but they can pull through, right? They can make mistakes, the Note 7, right? What they did, they flood you with all kinds of
OnePlus wants us to keep you fast. Next time.
Right, but look what Samsung did. They apologized. They came out with ad campaigns.
They had a conference.
You the warehouse.
Yes, they had a video. They had a long video to show you how.
Right, they had a long. Exactly. Yep. They had a long.
They're like, video. This is the jelly roll, and what happened was it got punctured and it got fat.
Right, so that's the problem. So when Apple, remember Steve Jobs gave out free bumpers because antenna gate
and told you to stop holding it wrong.
But at first he told you. No, he came out gangster with it. He was like, "You holding it wrong."
Yeah, he came out gangster,
and he knew the antenna was messed up.
Right, so he gave out.
Let's
free
talk
bumpers.
about a Samsung debacle that didn't happen too long ago. The Fold 1.
The Fold 1, right? The Fold 1.
I thought it was not going to come out. I thought they were done.
Even has no life support.
Yeah, they came back.
And guess what Samsung did? Samsung came out with an ad campaign showing you they manufacturers, right? They had the manufacturers and shit. All of the folds was lined up, and they was folding them, and they replaced everything.
And then it gets in the mind of the consumer.
Right,
and then they even said you have a free 1 year screen replacement.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, free of charge. Just
thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
For the love.
Niggs is in this piece. Yep, and see, look,
that's it.
Have a hardware and chip fab. That's big company going against small company. Small company, you gotta bring it. You gotta get it right.
That's right. Look, I have a mom and pop store, right? I own my business, right? So my thoughts, my thoughts is if I'm gonna bring it, I have to bring it in a lot of different categories. The best customer service that I can. I try to have everything better than my competition. Yeah. I strive for excellence in my business. You know why? It's because I'm not a Walmart. I'm not a Target. That means that I have to be better than them.
Yes.
Hold on, Doodle.
Well, I gotta go ahead. I'm gonna get back to what you're saying. Go ahead, Kimmy.
No, I'm off topic too because I was like, Doodle, consumer ain't trying to use a tripod and bring lighting.
Oh no, yeah.
Emily,
no.
Emily.
Go ahead. Emily was
Emily
there.
spoke. She right up under Migs.
Yeah.
No, what she want a link?
Does she?
I joined.
Oh no!
No, she was just saying she
joined.
That bottle is throwing you off.
I thought she said she wanted to join. Oh, okay. Yeah, she was a VIP, y'all.
But here's the thing. So this is the thing.
She always up.
Elgato is not known for microphones at all. And what they did was they were like, we're about to drop it. We're about to bring a high quality mic out to the market. They knew it was ready, and they gave it to the YouTubers that would kill it if it wasn't, because they knew it was ready.
Right.
And what ended up happening, you started seeing the Tech King mics, the Technical Tees. You started seeing them pick it up and get on that bandwagon of Elgato. No one knows them they never have made a microphone before.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? But that's what you got to do with a small.
That's what you got to do. Your stuff got to be better That
It's
means
gotta
that
be
when you
better.
release a product to the reviewers, your shit better be on point. Think
Exactly.
about this. Galaxy S21 Ultra, when they released the device to the reviewers before we got it, they, not only they probably, gave them the briefcase, but they also gave good reviews. The reviews was right. The Galaxy S21 Ultra is a great phone, but I think when it was like night and day. When they reviewed the Galaxy S21 versus the OnePlus, it was night and day. Now, whether or not OnePlus didn't bring the briefcase, that's here or there, but maybe the briefcase wasn't enough.
Yeah, but the thing is, that, and just say marketing should have went back and said,
yes,
hey, we didn't bring enough big enough briefcase.
That's right. The
Maybe we just pull out. Can you give me give me my device back, please?
Right.
Don't release your video.
One thing about it, if you go give Unbox Therapy a phone, or MKBH a phone, you got to make sure you got a lot of zeros in that briefcase. A lot of dead face, say big face hundreds. That's what we call it, big face hundreds in that briefcase. If it ain't got it, you go get tore up. It is what it is, man. Man, I ain't mad at him. Get paid.
I'm not. I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Get paid.
It's just, I feel bad because I think OnePlus could be a competitor. Consumers lose, basically. If there's not competition, we lose.
I'm mad at them
I am too.
because they don't care about my pockets. They don't want me to buy them. They're like, what? Catwoman
I'm
wants
mad at
quality?
OnePlus.
I don't care.
I'm mad at OnePlus because I'm tired of OnePlus getting passes. I'm tired of them getting passes. I'm tired of people saying stuff like, and I ain't taking shots at nobody when I say this, but I'm tired of people saying stuff like, oh, well, OnePlus, they're up there in the $1,000 range now, so you're not going to get everything that you're supposed to get, or, oh, this and that. Look, man, OnePlus been having these issues for the longest time. I'm not discounting the fact that they get updates, but pimp, when you having problems at $500 and then you having those same problems at $1,000, something is wrong.
Thank you.
Something is wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Oh, well, they get a bunch of updates 7 months after the phone came out. The price is still going up.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's true.
The price is too goddamn high. Look, sorry.
Price too goddamn high. That's right. That's right. No fluff, no passes, baby. No fluff. Look, I you know what? I love that word. No fluff. I'm glad I made that word up. No fluff, no passes, man.
Yep.
Shit. We ain't gonna. Why we give it? Because you're not paying that much for a phone. We gonna no. Damn it! $1,000 is $1,000. Shit. Come on, man. Stop giving these companies a pass. You're right.
Yeah, I just
guess
like.
what? I talk about the iPhone 12 Pro Max. People hate my guts, but I still slam that phone for that front-facing camera.
Hey, but guess what? What did you do?
I show you.
When the fix came out, when the fix came
That's
out,
right.
you came back.
It was good. That's
and you was like 10 out of 10. You're like,
that's right. I'm gonna tell you with the raw on that phone. Raw images on that phone.
You can color grade it.
Yeah.
Because you know why? I can fix the shit. It's because the auto mode is crap. That means that you give me a raw pro mode on there, I can fix it in post. I can make however motherfucking color of my face. I can turn it green if I want to.
You're gonna turn into the Incredible Hunk?
Yes, right. I can turn my face to any color I want with raw. If I don't have raw, I can't fix it if I don't have raw.
Yeah.
So Apple gave me raw.
The problems that I was referring to is the most common issue that I have heard about OnePlus phones, and I'm gonna say since the 6, since I started, I didn't get on OnePlus until the 6. And since the 6 in 2018, that's 3 years, I have heard cameras every year. The 6, the 6T, the 7 Pro, the 7T, the 7T Pro, the 8 Pro, the 8T, and now the 9 and the 9 Pro. It is
8T, the E
cameras. And it's consistently the same thing. It's always, oh well, they're gonna get updates, and that's not a problem. But I just don't like the fact that if they're gonna get those updates, cool. Like Barry said earlier, they should have got that update before the reviewers made their videos.
Yes,
that would have made things a whole lot better. But at the same time, OnePlus is aware of this. Otherwise, they wouldn't have spent $150 million to say Hasselblad 150 times in a 2-hour stream. So they needed to bring it instead of saying, yeah, we raised the price and we put Hasselblad on the camera. But it's every review everything that I've heard has sounded like the same thing. And I'm not, and one, I saw that video, and I saw a video today. It beats the S21 in shutter lag, but I'm just saying, still, the S21 still look better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the problems that OnePlus have encountered over the years is that they didn't bought professional photographers on stage and gave us this fantasy. Then once we got the phone in hand, it was not even close. I'm not talking about the 8. I'm talking about before the 8, like the 7, the 6, the 5. I mean, we seen this out of OnePlus year after year after year. And look, when they started this keynote address out for the OnePlus 9, they went straight into the cameras. I mean, the keynote address went straight into the cameras. Mm-hmm. And to me, if that's going to be your focus point, the cameras, God damn it, your cameras better be the best cameras on the planet. Better be at least they can try to beat Google. Shit, Google.
Damn. Yeah. So Mike, Juan sent you a DM. Juan Bagnell sent you a DM.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there's a video that he did on the 8 Pro, and remember we were talking about easy that the focus. There's little things that they could have fixed, right? So it had good hardware, but it was these little issues. Whereas before, it was the thought process that the hardware was bad and the software was bad, right?
Yeah.
So they were making steps, and that's the reason why I'm saying I agree. I think the OnePlus 9 is a solid value. I think the Pro is overpriced, even if it had come out knowing they're competing against Samsung and they had all the software issues fixed. But they, in my opinion, they had to have it right from the beginning at launch. If they're going to send it to those reviewers, it had to be right at launch because they're going to get killed. And who's everybody going to watch it first before they watch everybody else? And they're going to watch the people that have it.
And that's the unfortunate truth. I wish. Dang, why you make me big? Come on, be big. No, I was just gonna say, like, I wish people like Eric and Juan could get it first because they make content on mobile photography. Yeah, that's what Eric does.
And the longevity of it too, not just
almost every single video that Eric has ever put out that I see is usually this versus this, this versus this, and Juan does the deep dives on his Patreon and stuff. So, but they're not giving it to them. They're giving it to the 12 million subscribers.
That's what I said. It has. Yeah. I was up front, and guys, make sure you're subscribed. If you're in this chat, you need to subscribe.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when I get it, I'm gonna put it against everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
Come on, baby.
I'm gonna put it against the food stamp phone, the flagship, and the mid-ranger.
He's gonna put it against the blue phone. He's gonna put it against the Stylo 6. He's gonna put it against
no.
You're gonna put it against the Stylo 7.
I think TK he said the food stamp phone. This is before the reviews came out. Was the OnePlus 9 Pro. That was his new food stamp phone. So you're gonna put it against 1,000. TK put food stamp phones at $1,000.
Right, a food stamp.
At that rate, I guess I need to be on food stamps.
Exactly.
Right. Section 8.
I'm just saying.
I heard.
And you apply for them with a baby?
Yes.
What's the name of the website?
Look. My food stamp phone right there.
You mean? What's the name of the website for research purposes?
The fold stamp. The fold stamp.
Hold up. There we go.
Every county is different. You have to go to your county site.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soon it's gonna be like 3 of them.
We fold flexing.
We folding. We folding.
I like that.
We flexing on that?
I gotta I have a surprise giveaway for y'all.
Everybody flexing phones tonight, huh? Okay.
Juan, we totally agree with you. Samsung can have issues.
Yeah.
Apple can have issues, but unfortunately, them being a smaller company, when LG has it and OnePlus has it, they get killed by the other YouTubers.
Sample.
Hey, I have a question for everybody. Or in the chat, is anybody interested in an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate code?
That is so random.
I know it's random. I was gonna come in here. I want to give back.
Just post that in the chat. Post that in the chat. We still focus on that.
So what I was gonna say is
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So okay, all right, hold on. Let me. All right. So what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is that one, I hear what you're saying.
Stop it.
Oh my God, Mike, you killing me.
Because I did that last year. Y'all know Gigi was the main one on my ass last year. Patience. And I learned my lesson to stop giving these motherfuckers passes.
wait, remember?
So I'm not giving them a pass. I'm not giving. Yeah. But I'm just saying. I just really believe they've got some bones to work with, but they've screwed up. I'm gonna call them out. They screwed up. They should have held that.
So
what are you talking about?
What happened in 2020 with the Galaxy S20? What happened with 2020 Galaxy S20?
Oh yeah, one S20.
We ripped their ass up.
Oh yeah,
I
could not. The up. Ultra, I could not recommend anyone.
Right, and I tell you, on my channel, I ripped the Galaxy S20 Ultra to shreds.
I just got here, so like I gotta ask because I wasn't watching the stream. I was eating.
Yeah, we're doing OnePlus right now.
What we doing OnePlus?
Yeah.
You talking about the 9 or what?
The 9 and the 9 Pro.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're talking about how smaller reviewers, I don't say not smaller reviewers, other content creators that don't get the phone right away, like a Juan Bagnell who's in the chat, or the people on the panel, will take it through its paces, and they will do things like, if there's an edge detection issue, go, okay, this is something that's not a hardware thing. This is an easy software update from OnePlus. Whereas if it goes in the bigger hands, they're going to kill it. They're literally going to kill it.
That I've seen a lot of reviews on that already, and yeah, basically it don't seem like it's worth it, basically, from their perspective, with that price tag.
So right here, you get a Pixel 3 XL for relatively cheap. And I would agree that
I would even agree with a Pixel 2. Even a Pixel 2. It's a software carrying it.
XL probably have better photos than the OnePlus 9.
Any phone has better photos than the OnePlus.
I think OnePlus has an issue with the main sensor. I think the ultra wide is going to be fine. I think there's going to be more software that needs to be added.
So you're saying with the OnePlus 9T that's going to come out in 3 months, because you know how OnePlus rolls.
No,
right?
I know. I really, like I said, I really think, and it's funny, Team Pixel came. I really believe, like I said before, if I'm recommending the OnePlus, hold on to your old Pixel, hold on to your old Samsung, hold on to your old iPhone, and buy that OnePlus 9. If you have to, you're gonna get a flat, fast as hell phone. It's gonna have stock Android, Oxygen OS. It's lightweight. You're gonna enjoy it. Use it for the ultra wide, and then when you want to take that main photo of your friend, pull out that Pixel or pull out that iPhone.
But the
until OnePlus get their
you're
stuff
telling
right.
everybody to be bisexual. That's the
solution.
Right.
Hey, here's the thing.
What about trisexual?
Yeah. Go ahead. The travel.
I was gonna say real quick. So I saw MKBHD's video. I finally watched it maybe yesterday or something like that, and I heard what he said about the ultra wide. Like he was just saying, the ultra wide is really good and one of the best he's ever seen in a smartphone.
Yeah, everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying that.
But I heard him also say, like, for the main sensors,
it's weak.
It's like over sharpened in some ways.
Yeah.
And like I noticed when you switch between lenses, like the I think it's the color profile he says, just it's different. So like if you go to the 3x zoom or whatever it is, it looks different than the 2x zoom, so on and so
It
forth.
falls apart. It falls apart.
Jesus Christ, we're not going there.
I need a new fish. I need a new fish. I'm still locked up. They ain't let me out. Squirrel
Don't
Master
let
took
you
my
out.
fish.
So yeah, I really was impressed by the ultra wide. So
The
I mean,
ultra
I'll give
wide is
OnePlus
where it's
that.
at. That's the
So
reason why I
shout out
said
to
the
OnePlus.
value.
Shout out to OnePlus for that.
The value is in the OnePlus 9, in my opinion.
And
So you would
even
say
in-
that
even
the
in-
image has
even at
girth
night.
to it.
Even at
That's
night,
funny.
you know, they really killed it with that. Because I know I'm a big fan of ultra wide, as all of you guys might be too. So yeah,
That
I
makes your
noticed.
face look funny.
Ultra wide?
Hey, you
Check
remember
out my
what
ultra
Jeremy
wide.
Junkins did to that banana with the ultra wide?
It's
Oh,
not
God.
about who needs professional quality photos. It's what people want.
Who's saying this?
Right. I mean, smartphones. Look. Truth to be told,
Well,
smartphone
Casey in the
photography
chat.
have came a long way. A lot of people go into smartphone photography than professional cameras right now. You think about it with the pixel image, man. That's beating, low end. I mean, why buy?
If I'm gonna pay
low-end-
$1,000, right?
Mhm.
I should have a good camera on my phone.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, Jay. I totally agree.
$1,000. I need to have a professional grade camera on my phone.
Exactly.
This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, selling points for a smartphone nowadays. People need these really good cameras for their Snapchat and their Instagram and this, that, and the other, and the
But you
third,
got people that
and
take
YouTube
pictures of their
nowadays
kids.
too.
But think about that. You're taking photos of your children, right? And you want to get that good photo of a 1-year-old or a 3-month-old child.
With no shutter lag.
I was just gonna say that for me, it ain't about social media. I want good pictures of my family. That's what I want.
Right, family. And
But
stuff
I mean,
like
but I'm
that.
saying though, at least especially the younger generation, they need it for this.
You mean your generation?
Snapchat now.
Yeah, your generation.
Yeah,
Nigga, look.
the Latrell generation. The Latrell generation.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
Where's the lie?
like I said, I
said what I said.
I think the value is in.
Trizzy said,
I said the OnePlus 9.
You got like 3 generations on the panel.
Yeah. And look, trust me, I believe the Pixel 3 can beat all of these mid-range cameras, like Oppo and these mid-range Samsung phones. Hey, I would agree.
Do Samsung even got good cameras on their mid ranges?
Yo!
They're chopping
Oh, look.
It's
We got a
friend.
stream now, baby. We got a stream now.
This
We
is
got
the
the big
warmest
YouTubers
welcome I've had on a stream
Hey,
ever.
look, he's
So-
alive.
All I heard when you jumped in was extortion.
Hey, look, first of all, I saw your tweet
Yeah.
about longevity. You talked about some other things and stuff like that, and I appreciate that tweet. And the reason why is because this is what we do, right? We come back and we make long-term reviews, and we go back and do follow-up reviews. Look, the reason why I got 150 phones, more than that, it's because I go back and I re-review older devices to see how they
Because you need help, Eric.
I do love that every time I get the count on your phones, it seems to go up by like.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, it goes up.
Yeah, you know he only does that because Juan's here and Juan
By,
has
by
just
the
as
end of
many
the
phones.
stream, it's well, the only reason I've got 473 phones.
But this year is going to be different. He's only getting 20 phones.
He's only getting 20 this year.
I thought it
This
was
year is
10.
going to be rough for all
20.
of us that are
Right.
buying
It's gonna
review
be rough.
devices because every component shortage is going to wreck this market.
Right,
You know, like
right.
you look at LG getting out of the game, you look at Sony delaying the game. You know, Samsung controls like a huge part of their manufacturing, and it's interesting that they were able to get ahead of their
Correct.
normal release schedule.
Correct.
I'm not saying there's any insider info.
Yeah.
But this camera conversation is more complicated. So I had to jump in because we were talking cameras and especially for OnePlus getting kind of a raw deal.
I think. Look, here's the thing. for me, what the thing I was looking forward to is that all the hype around the cameras, right? Even though OnePlus probably sent the software update that probably fixed half the battle, I think the point is that 3 weeks ago, when the YouTubers, the reviewers got the devices, they did their reviews, they go, they do what they have to do, then they released the videos out, and pretty much mediocre cameras at best, right?
Well, that's just it. Is that we don't know. I mean, these early reviewers aren't camera reviewers.
They're not.
I mean, I don't want to speak ill, but like every single time one of those reviewers does a blind taste test, the phone they want to win never wins. What was the top dog from Marquez? It was an Asus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Before that was the Huawei.
Everyone knows that Asus cameras are just not as good.
Wasn't at one point it was a Poco?
Exactly.
A Poco as well.
It's never what everybody thinks it's gonna be.
BlackBerry took out. I mean, in what was it in 2018? The Key 2 was like one of like the third runner-ups.
Correct.
So I don't put any stock into people that take like 5 sample photos, full auto HDR, and then it's just not good enough.
Yeah.
Maybe better luck next year because that usage is satisfied by a $300 pixel. That's
correct. That's
use.
Thank you. That's what. Yes.
If you go up to $1,000, you are in niche territory.
Yep.
That is niche usage.
Yes.
So your expectations need to follow sensor size, dynamic range, and the quality settings that are driven by $1,000 smartphone camera, not casual snapshots. That's not the gig. And so when we really look at what the OnePlus 8 Pro could do,
right?
Sure, there are a couple little niggling software issues, like the out-of-the-pocket experience on a Pixel is going to be easier, more streamlined, and more accessible. But I can drive that OnePlus 8 Pro to do things that no Pixel can touch.
But here's the
and
question.
That's what gets exciting is when you push beyond. That's what you're spending money for. But none of these reviewers out right now,
they're not going
to try any of that.
No.
But the question is, okay, but that's all well said and done. I agree with you. Us as
I'm very agreeable.
We should dig a little deeper into the software update, software to make sure we give the best information out. The problem is, I always like to pick with Ryan with this one. Average consumer. Get the phone.
Average consumer should be shopping at $400.
Correct.
Average consumers are buying average phones overwhelmingly. Galaxy A series stomps Galaxy S. There is no average consumer conversation happening right now at $1,000.
So they should be bringing it.
Stop pretending that that's the gig. The gig is I have $1,000 to put on a phone. I better be able to replace my $1,500 mirrorless camera on the go and not have to cart around a $2,000 laptop. That's the gig.
Yeah.
But
below that, keep them on Pixels, keep them on Nord, keep them on Galaxy A.
Simple. The carriers make it easy for the average consumer to get the $1,000 phone.
Yeah, the average consumer is having a wonderful camera experience with iPhone 12, iPhone SE, Pixel 4. Yeah. There is no average consumer. When you talk about average, you're talking about bell curve.
Yeah.
There is no average consumer shopping $1,000 on a phone.
And that's the reason why
edges of the bell curve. So that is on average. That is not common.
So the question is, once we dig a little deeper into like smartphones and we open up the smartphone, we go into pro mode and we take our photos or whatever, raw, all type of different capability. At this point, does OnePlus compete?
This is the thing. I really believe, I think easy. And that's the reason why I said, I think they really created a special ultra wide angle. I really believe that and that's the reason why I'm saying the value is in the 9. And I think what it is you've got someone that can pull out an S21 Ultra. They drop the price of the Plus. So they're going to take a quick photo and like the reviewers and kill OnePlus and miss the magic of the Ultra. The ultra wide.
There's a lot of confusion too, where I've seen too many people going like, well, this 50 megapixel camera just looks weird. And you're like, you thought the higher megapixel count was the main camera because that's what it is on a Samsung.
Thank you. Exactly.
You couldn't even be bothered to get
go into the
right
wide
camera.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. And
so
we were talking. Go ahead.
To that point, sorry, I know I'm lit up.
Yeah.
One of the things that's frustrating is so much of the focus on OnePlus was OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8T, which I think is very fair to say core camera experience had more issues. OnePlus 8 Pro showed us that first step towards OnePlus taking this more seriously. And the main camera sensor on 8 Pro is an entirely different animal. It is a custom Sony job that is only bested by the Samsung Ultras in terms of sensor size and sensor technologies. And so when we get to that, you actually do have an ultra competitive I don't mean ultra competitive as in it's super competitive. I mean, it's competitive with the Ultras, but it also has a few of the same issues as the Ultra, like where you start talking about things like shutter lag. That HDR processing and that post-processing takes time to kind of refine the image, just like it does on a Samsung. What's frustrating is we kind of front load that conversation and look at how much grace and how much runway we gave to Samsung last year. And we did it again with them this year. The phones coming out this year are not better performers than the phones Samsung had out last year. And yet OnePlus has to get it right out of the gate. So when you really look at what that sensor can do, I actually think OnePlus's HDR processing and low light processing a generation ahead of what Samsung's doing with Pixel.
The low light is unbelievable. The low light.
Their night mode is shocking.
Yeah.
And the raw images that you get look better than most other cameras' night modes. I mean, it is not difficult to demonstrate an incredible advantage.
But with all that said and done, what about the perception that we heard the last
the perception is horrible.
48 hours?
Yeah,
the perception is
horrible. But we don't need to help spread the word on things that aren't true. That's what I mean is like just the perception of the company is a component or aspect of marketing. And you're talking about like Samsung and Apple with billion-dollar yearly marketing campaigns. OnePlus doesn't market like that here in the United States. Right. And they're trying. The Hasselblad partnership is a step towards putting another label and a collaboration to improve consumer awareness. It's
a YouTuber that posted the videos that's going to get literally millions of views of it, right? Is it a PR nightmare for OnePlus though? Is this a PR nightmare for OnePlus?
I don't think it's a PR nightmare. I think it's a long-term misstep for a short-term gain. So the gain is we get tons of awareness. We get the same shotgun blast on day one that Samsung might get, where every tech reviewer channel is kind of harmed individually, but there's a big wide net that OnePlus might catch someone who's not really into tech videos. That's a short-term gain, but then the continued reinforcement of that conversation is probably going to drag that gain down over time. My issue is it's not how we judge Samsung and Apple. It's
not. It's not. No.
And I feel like if you come back to a Samsung after 3 months, like look at all the positive headlines. The most recent update for the Galaxy S21 fixed a few issues on the camera, and it's like the second coming. Where was that video for a OnePlus 8 Pro? Because the improvements there
I still don't like the S21.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's not going to happen unless.
So shout out to all the super chat. Thank y'all very much. At the top of the hour, we got Wild back there.
Mega pickle.
We are lit tonight. I got Jameson on deck, and yes, woo, we gonna talk about mega pickles.
I can't reach. Yeah. I have a mega pickle mug right over there.
Oh, that's funny.
So somebody left it. Here we go. No one is talking about the 2 megapixel black and white sensor.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of a black and white sensor. I think I'd rather have a telephoto. I know it's supposed to add more depth to the black and white photos, but that's not what I'm buying a phone for.
It's fun. Again, I don't know. Did anyone here really shoot on a OnePlus 8 Pro? Am I the only one that actually?
I think you're the only one that had.
Yeah, you're the only one. I passed on it.
I don't mean to keep stepping in on this because I don't have a OnePlus 9.
Yeah,
right.
But that dedicated hardware does something really interesting when you apply filters. The filters on OnePlus cameras are legit because you're actually using dedicated hardware to read light to apply that filter. It's not night and day. You could probably do fine without it or just going all software. But there is something there that helps.
There's merit to it, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
And especially like on the OnePlus 8T, it was very valuable for a super bright 1080p mode. Like you have night video that looks like a night mode photo, but you need dedicated hardware to kind of read light to paint in the details the way that it should. It's very niche use cases, but it does do something outside of what we used to see with the multi-camera Huawei black and white sensor phones.
So OnePlus added promo to the stock camera app.
They've been promoted for a while.
Yeah. I really don't think that's what put them in this position. Like I said, I think what they did with the ultra wide, like if you look at the samples, it's literally special what they provided. And the nitpicks that you saw from reviewers are stuff that no one would care about. Absolutely no one would care about.
I think people should. Again, for all phones, I wish we were more consistently critical. Like the criticisms I've seen on OnePlus 9 are totally fair criticisms.
Yeah.
They're not the same criticisms applied to Apple and Samsung.
No.
My problem is working in the other direction where I want us to be this critical of a company like OnePlus. Fine. But we're talking no fluff, no passes.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it to popular companies. Popular companies get this benefit of the doubt that this is going to get better. We've seen phones like the Galaxy S20 Ultra where it didn't get better, so we shouldn't take that for granted. We saw phones like the iPhone 11 Pro, which was sold heavy on computational photography and all these great resources that you'll have with Filmic, and that took 6 months. Apple phones don't get features after that first year of software updates. There's a feature divide on iPhones. You went 6 months into the ownership of the iPhone 11 Pro before you got the phone Apple promised you. Right. Their keynote. We're not tagging Apple like that.
iPhone 11 Pro Max was waiting on this feature for 6 months. Oh God, I can't think of it. It's it.
Well, it took 3 or 4 months for that pre-scan. I forget what Apple's brand.
Yeah.
But it samples light before, and then the other one wasn't even Apple. It was Filmic multi-camera.
I'm sure people in the comments go leave Deep Fusion.
Yes, I remember Deep Fusion.
Right.
Yes.
Oh God, they would not shut up about it. Deep,
if neat.
Yeah.
We waited.
It's the next best thing since smartphones.
So from the techie perspective and kind of what you were saying, Barry, I mean, OnePlus probably isn't doing themselves any favors, but that doesn't mean we need to dogpile.
That's true.
And right now, it's just we're in really precious territory for competition. The second half of this year, if you're planning a PC build, if you're shopping a laptop, if you're trying to get your hands on a new phone, I would recommend shopping aggressively at this point in the year right now, because I think component shortages internationally.
I was just telling Dwayne this. He's building a PC right now, and I was telling him I wanted to build a PC for the longest. I was thinking about finally doing it this year, but now I'm like, you can't even get your hands on like any part that you want. So now I got to wait. I think it'd be the smartest thing to just end up waiting instead of just hunting on eBay for.
So Latrell, I'm of two minds, because like it depends on how long you think you can wait. This could be a 2022 resolution.
Yeah. So if you need
I'm not in a rush. I'm just saying.
Okay. If you're not in a rush, then I mean, some caution and sitting it out. But like, I'm watching GPUs that I've reviewed at Newegg. Like I picked up this sort of mid-ranger GPU for like $300 a year and a half ago, and if I were to flip it on eBay, it's going for 3 times its price. And you're watching these component forums and these PC builder forums, and people are like dejected. I mean, it's like just an air of defeat. And that's going to start hitting cars, and that's going to start hitting other consumer durable goods. It's going to start hitting appliances.
It's already
do you know who
it's hitting cars and refrigerators.
Yeah.
There's cars
I saw
right now
1660. Go ahead, Scoop. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
there's cars have launched right now where the chipset is too old, so you're not getting the actual MPG they're stating. It's 2 to 3 MPG. It's 2 to 3 less. than what is actually stated on the car because the computational ability of the chip they have in there is older and it can't keep up with the car. But they have to keep the car out.
What I was gonna say was I got a friend that is trying to build a PC, and she sent me a screenshot today, and she was like, "Is the 1660 Ti a good graphics card?" And I was like, "It's a good entry level card." And she was like, "Is this a good price?" It was $720 something on eBay. I was like,
"That's exactly what I'm talking about." I've got the mini.
No,
but unfortunately, you want to say that because we know rationally, like, hey man, that's not what this thing is worth, but it's worth what people can pay for. I've got a 1660 Super that I used to kind of rag on, like, hey, it's like, you know, my little dumpy box that I keep behind my TV. That again, you can find people trying to scalp it for like 800, which is just
that's the thing.
I remember a year ago.
I don't know anything about it.
Sorry, just to say this real quick. I remember a year ago, I wanted it to add more RAM to my computer, and it was out of stock. So I had to wait like at least 8 months for it to be back in stock.
Jesus Christ.
And she runs 128.
I was just here to say
gigabytes.
She runs like 1,000 gigs in the computer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
her next to be 512 gigs. So
Here's the thing. So I've been so I assume like pretty much all y'all know who the Poets is here on the panel.
Yeah,
right?
we know the Poets.
So he was trying to look for a part. I'm not sure. See, here's the thing. So I want to build a PC, but I couldn't even tell you what the latest high-end NVIDIA whatever is out right now. Like, I don't know anything about that stuff, but I know he had to get an HP Omen. I think HP sent it to him just so he can get like a specific graphics card or whatever it is out there, just like this big high-end desktop PC. And now I would assume it's just inventory they already had that they just sent to him. But it's just like, it goes to show you like how, like, because I think I don't know who he hit up to get some parts or whatever. Maybe it was just HP reached out to him because maybe they seen that he was trying to get a specific part or whatever. But it kind of goes to show you like how out of your way you got to go just to get something that's simple, and like how severe the shortages really is right now.
And you don't want anything interrupting the Poets, because I mean, like, I could listen to that voice read the phone book. So you want that game on point.
That's funny, yeah, Mr. Deep Voice. That's funny.
Coming from a background in voiceover, he's got one of those.
Oh yeah, you did
like,
voiceover. That's right.
I really want to get a very specific mic in front of his face, because I think there's like a
which mic? You thinking the SM7?
No, actually, I mean, if you could sound treat, there's just this character. I have an old Rode Classic 2 tube microphone. It comes like in a shock briefcase kind of a setup. Yeah, and I just kind of think something old.
He doesn't do
vintage-y.
voiceover, does he? He doesn't do voiceover.
I don't think so.
He should do voiceover.
I'm usually not the guy saying, "Oh, well, you need a good voice," because I used to do commercial voiceover casting. But like, there's something about that the tremor, the tenor to his voice. Like, I think
the timbre of his voice is
that's
very
kind of tweaking my ear there a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't very seldom use voiceover. I got a teleprompter, but I don't use voiceovers though.
I mean, I love you like a brother, but I'm not trying to talk you.
No. He's not talking about that type of voiceover. He's talking about voiceover for like film work. Not like for our videos.
Narrative.
Yeah.
Like I'd really like to hear him. I'd really love to hear him like narrate some Langston Hughes or something like that.
Can you imagine if the Poets became like a voice on the Google Home?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
like,
hilarious.
It's like, hey Google, what's the weather?
Currently 75 degrees in Los Angeles.
Hey Google, read me to sleep and just let it go. I'll just drop myself up in a quilt and just let it roll.
With a high of 78 and a low of 63.
All right, we got a super chat here. Nobody pays attention to my son Tariq.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, he's behind.
Tariq done been timed out so many times.
I'm sorry, we got a special guest in the building.
I gotta apologize to Lethal. I tapped him by accident, so my apologies.
Hey, Lethal, you weren't meant to be.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were when I saw.
I was like, oh my god, what did Lethal do?
Nah, I was like.
So I mean, I think in 2021 we started to see some interesting stuff. I believe that this was, OnePlus, the body style, the design of the phone looks really good. Obviously, the display gonna be very, very good. It's gonna be a very fast phone. The specs to match, everything in between. I think for OnePlus, their main focus is on photography and video. And
I really think marketing failed them this year. I really do. I think marketing.
I think marketing did, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing I look at is that your first initial impressions that we saw in the last 24 to 48 hours is your breaking point. Is it going to be your success or your decline? Now, at this point, I believe OnePlus got to play catch up. It's like, okay, now they're on damage control. Even if the phone is that good with the software update, how do they get it out to the public to let them know this? But
here's the thing that we got to be careful not overestimating our worth in the tech community. Like, we have a trickle down effect and we can influence those in our circles of family and friends. But I would imagine that OnePlus having floor space in a T-Mobile carrier store is probably going to influence more people by a factor of 10 than the folks that are watching all of these tech reviews and these tech videos. It's when that person walks into a carrier store, are they going to meet a knowledgeable T-Mobile floor rep? Are they going to meet someone who just points them to the front table full of Samsung and Apple products and ignores that dusty shelf off in the corner where you might see a Moto? That kind of thing is I feel where OnePlus needs to learn the lessons that LG never followed through on.
Oh, yes, they have to learn that lesson.
If you are not present as part of the conversation in some form of marketing beyond just this initial YouTube surge, you vanish from existence. It's a Thanos snap.
And I think the 729, the 9 being in T-Mobile, that was a great move by them.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the bigger problem. AT&T, probably not T-Mobile, they kind of changed their strategy up a little bit. But when you got workers working on commission and deals of, okay, you sell this many phones, you're going to get this perk. You sell this many phones, you get this perk. As a salesperson, how do they sell a bunch of phones? It's easy to sell an iPhone. It's easy to sell a Galaxy phone. The problem is, what sales guy or saleswoman is going to go beyond the Call of Duty, say, hey, this is a OnePlus 9 Pro. Let me talk. Let's discuss the features and capabilities of the device. I've been in carriers. Look, I'm all full carrier, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on T-Mobile. I'm on Verizon. I'm on AT&T. And I dump Sprint. Obviously, Sprint is gone. But here's the thing: when I walk in carrier stores and they don't know who I am, what do they direct me to? Right?
No, we agree.
Samsung, right?
And I still think OnePlus, and that should be a boardroom level conversation between CEO of OnePlus and CEO of T-Mobile's and the other carriers.
I agree.
Because you have Des for just bring T-Mobile as that will get the phone. He will sell the phone, right?
He'll sell the phone.
But it has to trickle to the stores.
But even though Dad's do it and he do a fantastic job, he gets me hyped. He was underwater doing the unboxing, which is fantastic, right? Yeah. But what about AT&T?
Well, AT&T. So this is another thing. So you have to do it with every carrier. But right now, OnePlus, right? Unless I'm losing my mind, I don't think they're at AT&T. Because they're not even certified for AT&T. They didn't bring the bag to. That's another board level thing. AT&T kind of pushed them out and said, "You're not on a network."
Yeah, it got ugly last year with the Verizon exclusive variant of the OnePlus 8, and then the 8T got kind of I think it was mostly just a T-Mobile launch. Mm-hmm. To that point, I mean, we can talk about the carrier relationship, but consumers won't go in to ask about a phone that they don't know exists. And that's what killed LG. It doesn't matter how good their placement is in the carrier store. You need to see any commercial 3 weeks after the phone is launched. And if there aren't commercials there, then consumers don't know.
They don't know
those products.
My LG community, and they love that. They always mention you in my videos, by the way, Ryan. They say, you know,
I apologize.
you and Ryan are the only one that makes so many videos about LG. Now I dropped a video yesterday about LG because all the news came out about them, ending their relation, possibly closing their mobile department.
Yeah.
And my thing was, if you read between the lines, they say the first half, right? The first half. They didn't talk about the second half. They talked about the first half. And I read the article. And the first half, that they're not going to roll out in their phone. But here's the problem. The problem is that the LG fans and LG itself, are they looking for exit strategy? People are confused. Are they looking for exit strategy? Or people, the deal that a third party deal supposed to have didn't go through that well. So right now, we need LG.
We do it in the LG.
We need any competition.
What I would tell an LG person, this is not being funny. I would tell an LG person that is an LG fan because of the original ultra wides that it came and they stuck with LG during the ultra wide, irrespective of the quad DAC and all that stuff. I tell them to pick up the OnePlus 9 for the ultra wide.
Irrespective of the quad DAC? Do you hate your ears?
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying.
No, I'm totally I know you're serious.
But I really would tell them to look at the OnePlus 9.
But somebody didn't.
Do you hate your ear?
Somebody making a better commission on Samsung or Apple is not telling them that.
That's right.
Commission. The person who really does
all day. Yeah.
The person who really does like LG, and let's be very clear here, the person who really does like LG is a tiny fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the overall smartphone market. That individual is probably already looking at, maybe they'll go with the Sony, maybe they'll go with an Asus. Then ROG just picked up that Saber DAC also. So if you want that headphone jack, maybe you're going ROG. I think it's like 3 people in Poughkeepsie that care that much about the LG brand at this point, which is too bad.
I know one in life.
And you know what? The sad thing is, what's sad to me is that they never really reached the peak popularity of like the Apple and Samsung that hit. So that didn't really help their case.
Well, again,
I just talked about this in my live stream. Like, if Mims is still in here, I was talking about how people still bash them, for example, for like boot loop issues. How long ago was that? Yeah, and Mike, you was there too.
But that's a great point. I think, and especially for the points that Easy's made, like it speaks to the core problem isn't the phone, the device, or how they handled one crisis. It's a consistent and total failure of communication with their customers on the ground. Because they actually handled boot loops fairly well, considering that the problem was mostly a chipset problem. It was the Snapdragon 810 was overheating and was melting the solder on all these things.
That was horrible. Oh my god! Go ahead.
But yeah, sorry. I'll just wrap this up real quick. They weren't making a big dog and pony show out of trying to help their customers. A year later, the Note 7 explodes, and we get an international consortium that looks like it's being staged at the United Nations to hold a press conference about how Samsung cares for their customers. The actual customer response was about the same for both companies. And one problem is way worse. One problem is explosion.
I was just going to say that.
The other problem is boot looping. But LG never got ahead of their own messaging. Samsung and Apple, they tell you how to feel about their products. LG puts out a product and expects the market to give them some kind of meritocracy kudos for being a player in the game. And that's not how this works. If LG came out with a series of ads, hey, life is good when you treat your ears. Life is good when you get the whole shot. Life is good when you got the battery. Life is good when you can go 2 things at the same time. Put those commercials on TV and not just on a YouTube channel. And you're good.
I always say this, and I've been saying this for a long time. I don't understand why LG doesn't want to go aggressive. I always say this. LG need to grow a pair. Look at how.
Remember when they had pin support? Remember when Kimmy found out they had pin support on the, and you were like, oh, it's got pin support.
They got pin support,
and they didn't advertise it.
What the hell?
It's like, are you kidding me?
Advertise it. You got everything. You got the style software ported over to LG
Quad DAC. You got a headphone, Jay. You got everything in that phone.
You got everything, and they don't even talk about it to this day. They don't talk about it, right?
Yeah.
LG North American PR didn't know about some of those features.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Really? That's always been like their one of their biggest shortcomings is their marketing. I always talk about this. If they worked on their marketing, they definitely be in a way better position than he is now.
So this question right here is basically sums it up. You have to unsell an Apple or Samsung in order to sell a OnePlus. You have to talk about how good OnePlus is over
OnePlus
Apple
needs
Samsung.
to find
an
audience outside of Android geeks. And then those people will know about OnePlus and then go into the carrier store and say, I want that phone. It always works backwards. We think techies are these tastemakers. Techies only respond to what's popular.
Yeah, they got to put in that actual work to get somebody to switch on OnePlus because they don't know what they're getting into. They just stick with what they're safe with and what they know already.
But do you think OnePlus go put the work in there, though? That's the thing. Will you think that since Carl Pay gone and we got the new guy in, he did add a little bass to his voice, by the way. I mean, he was on stage. Well, how y'all doing?
He is speaking English way better than I can tackle Mandarin. So I'm not gonna.
Hey, that's true. Yeah.
But I think right now in the United States we're a second tier market. Their main focus is China. Their secondary focus is India, and we're like the C team. Yeah, where we can make them some money and kind of get some visibility, it makes sense. But I think they're going to go after the EU harder than they go here.
But why we get the short end of the stick here? Because I mean, in the United States,
I think it's because they feel everything is dominated by Samsung and
carriers.
Apple. And carrier. Yeah,
it's the carrier's fault. Yeah.
You can't reach out to an individual consumer when then they have to go and shop through a carrier. It's just we don't buy unlocked phones here, so we're not going to be as valuable.
Exactly.
I was going to say most people are on payment plans, so they're not getting anything. They can't get a payment plan.
I was going to say everybody I know, they either go through a carrier or they go to Best Buy. They don't.
Why am I going to drop $1,500 cash on the phone when for 36 months I can pay $2,250? That's what's marketed
does have 0%.
Yeah, it does.
That's marketed to us, though. That's what I mean.
Like back in the day when I said, "Oh, you get this free phone."
But you have to go and look on the OnePlus site.
So you got to dig. You got to dig.
And that's going to be one problem. How they going to sell a phone? T-Mobile is one carrier. That's it. It's going to be a tough sell because T-Mobile is one carrier that they salespeople probably ain't going to push it. So it's going to be tough for OnePlus in the carriers.
Now, I will say I don't know about everybody's T-Mobile. But here in Jacksonville, I see a lot of OnePluses on the streets now. I see a lot of OnePluses on the streets. My barbershop that I go to, dude had the OnePlus 6T, and then the next year he had the 7 Pro, and then last time I saw him, which was 2 weeks ago, he had the 8T. He said he upgrade every year. He do the jump blade every year. He said he's been hooked on the OnePlus since the 6T. And I asked him, I was like, well, what got you? He was like, I just like this really cool thing with the in-display scanner. He was like, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. It's the little stuff.
My mom,
that's surprising.
Exactly.
That's surprising.
And that's
I hadn't seen a OnePlus in a while.
My mom's holding on to
I was
gonna say just because of the volume rocker. The
alert slider. Yeah.
And I was gonna. Here's some insight for you, Mike. So I haven't seen a OnePlus phone, and this is the first time and the last time I seen a OnePlus phone. It was actually my friend, and it was in like 2018 or 2017 or something like that. And that's the last time I seen a OnePlus phone. Like I said,
OnePlus was the last
don't nobody use. Don't nobody use.
You're OnePlus.
What I had for a week
in the South. So I'm down in the South. I have never saw a OnePlus phone.
Okay, so when I see a phone, it's either an iPhone or a Galaxy, and if it's not one of those, it's some budget LG phone that they got from the dollar store.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Let's go.
I'm gonna tell you like this here.
Yes, I see a lot of K20s.
Look. I'm gonna tell you like this. On the north side, on the north, you're spelling NORFF side of Jacksonville. You see a lot of LG K20s, a lot of Rebels from T-Mobile. You see a lot of Metro phones, and you see a lot of Metro phones. I have not seen. I've only seen I've only seen Pixels in the wild at like a GameStop or something like that. There's a dude at a GameStop in the mall, in the Avenues Mall, and he has a Pixel 3a XL. He's still rocking with it.
See, Pixels have gotten more popularity out here than I thought they would. I've seen at least like 5 Pixels recently.
Yeah, so I see Pixels,
and they're like Pixel 4As and stuff.
The reason why is because Best Buy, they got Pixels on display. They sell them relatively cheap.
Right,
I mean, you can get a Pixel in Best Buy, and they sell a crap load of
in my Best Buy, it's right in the front with the Galaxies and the
right. They're right in the front,
and the
Best Buy.
iPhones and the Galaxies.
Right.
I should take a
That's
picture.
why you probably see, but when it comes down to OnePlus, would you see
Look at
them?
the Wayne comment.
Would you see them in the front of Best Buy? That's the thing. Like,
oh wow.
When we talk about OnePlus, would you see a OnePlus phone on the end cap in the Best Buy? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. It'd be nice if they did, but no.
This is their opportunity where Moto is kind of weak in the game. LG doesn't have anything out right now. This is normally when we'd be hearing about a V70. So T-Mobile wants to push the Alt brand. OnePlus is going to get a little bit more visibility, is going to get a little bit more love. So OP needs to figure out their ground game in the United States. They're hitting hard in India. They're obviously big in China, and they're building cred throughout the EU. The North American market is a lot harder, and probably for less reward for that effort to break into in the same way. But
did we see that with another carrier that came down here? What was that? That they came down here with their TV. They had a press conference.
Oh, TCL.
Not TCL. It was before TCL.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about
you're talking about like Lieco.
Yeah, Lieco.
Look at Juan laughing. Yeah,
They had a press
completely forgot.
Trying to sell their phones and TVs and all kinds of stuff. It failed miserably.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, OnePlus doesn't have that issue.
Yeah, I don't see OP having that problem.
They had the skin that was horrible on top of it. OnePlus has stock. You know, it's so easy to market there. All you got to do is say, if you like the Pixel, we bring you the same experience pretty much, just faster. That's all they got to say.
What's
some
some add-ons?
Yeah, that's all they got to do.
Yeah, and getting back on LG real quick. So, like in my Best Buy, I don't even know where you can find a flagship LG or OnePlus in there. I know they sell them. I know, but if you look for
first of all,
if you look for LG, they're in the budget phone section with the Galaxy On5s, as Dwayne pointed out.
I think if I go and cruise my local Costco, I think there's still a V60 on display at that little kiosk that they have in the middle. So it's slim pickings out there from where you might see one.
But that's the ultimate problem with LG. They had the V60.
We know what the ultimate problem with LG is.
Yeah, we know what
they haven't even released a phone this year.
Turn into a Windows phone.
I feel like we're
I mean, they teased a rollable phone and they
canceled
it.
And you know what? That was like 2 months ago. How they already canceled it?
No, they exited the business.
I think, we look at Samsung trying to make it sound like the Note 21 getting delayed wasn't a part of this component shortage, but it kind of is.
Yep.
They're not trying to dilute that market. If there was any year where LG were really going to sit this one out, I think it's this year. Yeah. I'm really anxious about Sony. I'm really anxious about Motorola. In fact, someone was bringing up Huawei, maybe making it back here. The only glimmer I think we might see is potentially Xiaomi trying to make a bigger play over the next 2 years for North America because they just won that court case. And that Mi 11 is solid.
I'm glad that you brought up Sony because I've never seen a Sony out here. The only time I've seen a Sony actually is
Mi 11.
The Mi Mafia's in the building.
Mi Mafia in the building.
So one of the things that I like about Sony is that they are focused and targeted towards content creators, filmmakers. Because, I mean, if you look at the phone is like Android. Really, it's not even about the phone. Mm-hmm. It's about the cameras. Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to tell you.
It's a nice phone, though.
It's a nice phone, yes. But it's a very nice phone. But
That's not the marketing.
The display with the 4K display is. I mean, I say this and I continue to say this. The Sony display, the best display I ever saw. I stick to that. I stick to my guns on that one. Mm-hmm. That Sony display, the best display I ever saw.
And it was the 1-2 that you did the monitor thing, right? The HDMI out.
Oh yeah, I did the monitor thing with the video I did. It was fucking great, right? Like I did that.
You actually have a real monitor.
There's a lot of enthusiasm.
I was fucking blown away when
from the soul.
Because you normally look at. I have my smaller monitor, right?
I'm telling you, when I tell you when I made that video, I didn't even think this shit was going to happen. I'm sitting around with a Sony One Mark II connected to my preamp to a fucking professional microphone.
Oh
like,
my
I'm
God.
like, okay, cool. This ain't gonna work. Then I connected it to my monitor, and the shit was fucking great, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, this works.
Look at Steve. Look at Steve.
I would tell you, I was blown away. I'm telling you, I was blown away.
Eric right now.
It's a total different experience. And that's the thing, like Eric, the other day when I was doing a top down, I'm learning, so I'm not where LaShawn is. So I had my little monitor. I'm like, man, how is LaShawn seeing all this stuff on this little ass monitor? I got my TV and hooked up the output to it, so I can see and get better.
Here we go.
If I could have had that phone right there, it would have been perfect.
I'm telling you, when I shot the cinematic footage at 4K 120 frames per second in slow mo, I was fucking blown away. I'm telling you, that is a sleeper. I love the Sony One Mark II. I changed my mind. I made a video confessing it. Like I made a video. I said I was wrong. So I made a video saying, hey, I was wrong about this phone. And every time I pick up the Sony One Mark II, I'm like, fucking, I want to film with it. Like that's it. I put it on I didn't even use a gimbal or nothing. 120 frames per second, slow mo. The cinematic footage was fucking groundbreaking. I was like, this was DSLR mirrorless camera quality. It was awesome. I was blown away with the Sony One because look, I slammed that phone for months.
A lot of people did because the auto mode wasn't that good.
Because they don't know.
Yeah, the auto mode
because they didn't know it was an amazing phone.
Right, I slammed that phone for months, and I'm like, this shit is crap. The stock camera app on there was terrible, right? And I mean, even though it got 4K, okay, so it's $1,200. I paid $1,200 fucking dollars for that phone. So I'm like, is it worth it? Then all of a sudden, I started getting into the pro features, right? And I'm like, this phone ain't for content. This phone is for us, content creators and prosumers, not for the average consumer. This ain't no phone that nobody go pick up.
You know what I'm going to say about a $1,200 phone in the phrase "average consumers," though.
Well, I know. So I would agree with you on that. I felt that I gave the Sony One Mark II. I looked at it as totally two different people, and that's why I gave it shit. I gave it shit because I looked at that phone as okay, a person go pick that phone up and turn on the camera, point and shoot, and you go get shitty footage. And that was my plan of thought. And that's not the way that phone works. That's not the way the phone works. That phone is going to Cinema Pro, right? Photo Pro, and you take care of business. And you dial in your ISO and your white balance and everything in between. You do your shutter speed and you take great photos. And it's a different scenario once you think different about the phone.
Oh, yeah,
that's
exactly.
It's Mr. Catwoman over there vacuuming. It sounds like I heard a vacuum.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Oh, tell her I'm sorry for cursing.
Mr. Catwoman.
She can't hear you. But even if she did, I curse all the time. So.
Hey, D-Mims, I'm gonna tell you, I think you're gonna love it because D-Mims is a OnePlus fan, regardless of the cameras. I think he's gonna enjoy it. He ain't got to hope.
I think he's got a Pixel. He's got camera.
In
I
that
think
iPhone.
he pulls out that ultra
D-Mims got one of everything.
Exactly.
He said he might drop this.
He's gonna drop some
iPhone mini.
dope photos at ultra wide. I know it.
I don't know. I don't have the OnePlus 9. I don't
know. Of many phones.
The difference was Sony pulled off 4K 120 on last year's chipset.
Yes.
OnePlus is driving it on the 888. And I think that's also going to be one of the things that I think OnePlus has an opportunity to out Samsung is there isn't any significant cooling hardware in the Galaxy S21 or S21 Plus. And that phone throttles like crazy. It comes pre-throttled out of the box. You have to dig into your battery settings to turn on all of the phone you bought on a Samsung this year. And if OnePlus actually can... Well, Xiaomi and Samsung were both early, right? You know, they pushed first, and when you hit in January, it's a different game than when you're kind of filling out the rest of your manufacturing
here's the thing, Ron. This is what's so crazy. I got 5 cameras pointing at me right now, right? And I don't have 120 frames.
Here we go.
I don't have 4K 120 frames per second. I got
must have some Rockwell.
Camera here. I got 5 cameras pointing at me, right? I do not have 120 frames per second. And I got here. This is crazy.
Can I add on to what you said? He doesn't have 120 fucking frames per second. That's what
right. Hey, you got all those cameras for a reason, right? You got to use them.
But again, it should be OnePlus telling the story. If OnePlus's sort of reputation is about performance and snappy phones, they need to do a better job of actually talking about you can really use the phone and not get throttled.
Oh, God.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's gonna fit all in that cup, so you should just right from.
Oh, D Mills, shout me out. Say, hey, that James.
I mean, this way, as you pour it, you're gonna lose like some to evaporation, so you're just wasting it. You might as well go straight from the bottle.
Yeah.
Hey, go and get you some pickle juice to go with that, James. So you'll be all right.
So
simplify the process.
So with all this going on with Android and everything, this kind of say, hey, Apple, what you gonna do with the iPhone 14 or 13 or whatever they come out with? Because I mean, we heard that they go shrink the notch.
Yeah,
okay.
How many times did I heard it?
Maybe 120
right.
120 hertz. That's what
hertz display.
They're
gonna be hurt when they don't get that too.
144 hertz. Apple
gonna
is gonna up. They always try to up.
They've been shrinking the notch for the last 3 years, from what I've been.
HURTS. Hertz.
I'll be curious to see how they handle high refresh, because now we've got like the OnePlus screen technology, and that variable and dynamic refresh can get down really crazy low. So that should help a little with battery. Apple's big problem is they always put in the barest minimum adequate battery for about a day of use. And when you hit that with 5G, OnePlus, I mean the iPhone 12s didn't handle 5G very well. And then you add high refresh, they need to figure out, increasing battery capacity.
Yeah, that's the step up from the 10s Max to the 11 was a pretty big step up though. From what I experienced with my 11 Pro.
Yeah, but that's
11 Pro Max
that
that I
count
had.
5G though. 5G.
I know. I'm just saying in general. So if they make another move like that, then it should be good.
Hey, now my thing is, how do you guys feel about OnePlus not allowing you to permanently set it to 120? It's like you can't set it to 120. It goes between one.
But isn't Samsung's adaptive too?
I think it's
you can go into there and set it. Like you want 120 or 90.
So
can't set it to
LaShawn, on the OnePlus 9 Pro, it's adapted by default.
Yeah.
On the OnePlus 9, it's 120 hertz or 60. You have to make that decision, or you let it go.
Okay.
Yeah. So bottom line, if you trust OnePlus to do the right thing, you get the Pro. But if you need the 120 all the time, just get that OnePlus 9. You good. It's like 120.
Courage. You lost on that trust.
Trust. Do you trust me?
You trust?
Courage.
Trust OnePlus?
Yeah, right. Courage.
It takes
do the right thing, OnePlus.
Yeah.
Do the right thing, OnePlus.
Yes.
Otherwise, If OnePlus doesn't do the right thing, T-Mobile's gonna have to go back to pushing the Alcatel phones.
We do not want that.
No,
We do
I
not
don't
speak
want
of that here. We do not speak
But I've
of
got
that.
those
Take that back,
adorable little idols over there.
He said
Those
take
were
it back.
killer phones at like $300. They were so
The 4S
cute.
was awesome. I love the 4S.
And,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they had
that's right, the
stereo
4S, yeah.
speakers,
That's
and
right,
they
yeah.
had actually pretty solid cameras.
So, hey,
come on, why we got to tag
Ron,
Alcatel?
Ron,
Come
wait,
on,
so wait.
I got to pick on some little kid like that.
I had the 4S Windows Phone edition too, man. I had them both.
Oh, I think I've still got that one.
I love
Benson
that.
has a question.
I love that phone.
I don't
love
have
that
the
I was
phone.
gonna start
S21
pushing.
Ultra.
They better start
Does the
pushing those cool
S21 Ultra
fast
let
too
you
while they at
defeat
it.
the adaptive?
I thought it was adaptive too.
I thought it was adaptive on that as well. Do you know, Mike or Easy?
Well,
What did you say?
one?
They're supposed to go
No,
to
yeah,
one
the
hertz.
Ultra is adaptive.
1 hertz.
It's adaptive. Okay.
Well, I'm talking about the OnePlus go to 1 hertz all the way to 120 hertz. The Samsung goes, it's adaptive also.
30.
Do you?
Yeah,
I thought it
do
went
you
to
prefer
30.
adaptive or
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
go
you
to
prefer
30. Then it
adaptive,
goes
or
to
would
1.
you rather manually set it to like 120 or
So
whatever?
here's the thing: is where does high refresh rate make its biggest appearance? Because it's not in gaming. A lot of the games that we're talking about playing on mobile, adaptive.
Yeah,
up to
standard 60
120, but
hertz.
it doesn't
So
matter.
basically, with my Z4,
Yeah, if you're trying to get 120, you gotta have adaptive.
Yeah.
So,
Go
you
ahead.
know,
Go on.
but most of this is just UI and scrolling, and I
Correct.
get why people like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that much to me that my app drawer is liquidly smooth. Like that's cool. It's a perk. It looks nice, but it comes with a battery hit, and that's why these adaptive screen technologies are going to help so much. Because once you fire up,
what you're saying is
a heavy
when we
game,
listen
it's
to your
gonna tank.
videos, we're not going to hear the remainder of the year. Feels real good in the hand, and look how smooth this thing.
Gigi, you said you turned yours off, right? You said you turned off.
I turn on my phone. I don't use
Yeah, you
adaptive.
turn it off. Yeah, you don't use it.
I keep mine on, but here's the thing: it's not mandatory for my
That's at
next
60.
upgrade.
Well, what I think is funny is also these people like praising 100
Oh, I need it. It
hertz,
has to have it.
but then shooting their reviews in 24 frame per second video, and you're like,
Thank you. Thank you.
Smaller.
Oh yeah.
Popcorn man.
oh, now I'm looking in the wrong direction. Let me move my browser so I
The
can.
reason I turn off adaptive lawn is because I don't need it in 120 hertz ever. That's why I turn it off.
I was a
I don't
huge
really
120
It's
hertz
not necessary.
nerd when the Razer Phone 2 came out because I really thought that we were going to start getting a lot of games that were going to tap
Right.
into that hardware, and it
Right,
really
right.
hasn't played out. You can't sit here and talk about Genshin Impact and like console ports that play at like 45 frames per second and then be like, oh, but I need my 120 hertz. Like that's not a thing. That doesn't make a
And
difference.
you know
for the
what?
experience.
Average consumers has proved it's really not
Yeah, the only
necessary
thing that
because I
shows-
pass it to people and they don't notice it's smoother.
They don't
No.
notice the difference.
Average consumers are proving that this isn't a thing because average consumers are out there trying to get their hands on a Switch.
Animal Crossing
That's
can't play
right.
on your phone.
Well, but Stardew Valley plays really well on my phone.
Yes, it does.
Demon
Oppo
said L
phone
busy. L
It's
busy.
$229,
L
and
Boogie.
it can stay on 120 hertz.
Yeah, so my Mi 11 can do the same thing, right?
Yes, sir,
So
sir.
with
Put it better.
Xiaomi, I like 120 and I leave it on, and I
Yeah, I
don't
leave
take
it on
out
all
of
the
it.
time.
The reason being is I watched the original Mi UI 12 event, like the launch event of just the OS, and it was obvious, like when you watch through the keynotes, that a lot of the animations work better with 120 hertz. And I'm like, dude, I carry 2 phones. If this gets 7 hours of screen on time, I'm cool because I got my other phone with me, you know. So that's what I do it. But it's not one of those things where I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna kill me if I don't have.
I've used 60 hertz for all these years. It's not a must.
Right.
All I'm
The
gonna say,
only
if
time
my
hertz-
phone have it,
I would say that this person has said the Redmi Note 10 is better with a headphone jack, our blaster, and expandable memory.
I mean, the Redmi Note 10 Pro is a solid phone. It's got a headphone jack. The Snapdragon 888 it's a really solid performer. I have to say, having one and also having the same processor that The Redmi Note Pro.
Xiaomi is
you have
letting
a
the phone
888?
run a little hotter is definitely better than what Samsung's doing, throttling it out of
Correct.
the box.
Correct. Yes.
For sure.
Correct.
Definitely.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really do not know what processor is in here. It's an 888, right?
It's
No,
the 865.
865.
865.
865. So
That is
where
like
did
so
888
last
came at
year.
S21.
I'm
Yeah, I know.
amazed you can do
I'm
anything
surprised
on
you
it.
even held it up. You should probably just put that phone down.
You should be embarrassed. and
We're
feel
kidding.
bad.
We're kidding.
Right. Come on, come on, bro.
I'll throw this thing in the
You
garbage.
got an
now.
865.
Yeah. It's like, how dare you?
I just
Hey,
ate
at the
dinner
same
and I'm about
time,
to
I'm on
throw
a
up in my
laptop
mouth.
with an Intel processor, so I mean,
One
you can
got
go
the
all.
down, one's like
Mhm.
You don't have an AMD?
I know.
AMD?
No, right, no AMD.
No M1?
No M1?
No AMD? What?
I should throw my computer in the trash because it's
What an
Intel as
embarrassment
well.
I am. I know.
Right.
You don't even be in the tech community.
120
You probably don't buy
gigs of RAM
you
is
probably
not
don't buy your
Not
popcorn at
enough.
Popcorn World, do you?
You probably don't watch
Will you?
Easy's video.
Exactly.
Watch the video.
That's what I'm just saying.
You still like your popcorn in the microwave.
Hey, when I can't get Popcorn World, I might just microwave me some popcorn.
When I slung it, I was at least trying to
There's-
figure
There's a
Garbage.
5 and below with this cookies and cream popcorn that I don't really care for it, but hey, it get me through. It get me through. It get me through, it get me
Well,
through
this-
them
this
long
is-
dark nights,
I got
baby.
some Oreo
Get me through them long
cheesesteak now
dark
that you just said that.
This is the part of your stream where I would normally be typing in all caps in the chat, going "snake bite." Snake bite.
One.
Hey,
This segment is brought to
man.
you by
Where?
Popcorn World.
that's you and Scoop, Juan. That's you and Scoop with the snake bite.
We're kindred spirits, Juan. I'm telling you, man. That is my.
Hey,
Damn.
but that caramel's selling pretty well, ain't it?
Yeah, the caramel is moving. It's
Yeah.
moving. I got to get you some.
Just I'm ready to order it, man. Just let me know. I'm ready to give you whatever it's gonna cost. If it's $50, I'm gonna make the adjustment, 50 to 100 a month, whatever is gonna last me for the month. We good.
I'm gonna be in Illinois
That's
soon
gonna
to
just be
pick
part
up
of
my
that'll be a
PS5.
utility bill as
So,
far as I'm concerned.
I'll be in Illinois soon to pick up my PS5, and that's right over by Popcorn World. So
Just hit me up.
You just had to plug in your PS5.
Yeah.
Right, come on, man.
no, I really don't. No, that's not really what I was trying to do. I'm saying I'm about to be over by your store.
Hey, just hit me up.
About half this panel probably got the PS5 by now.
Hey, so let me ask you guys.
Nope.
Mike, chill out.
Do y'all think that the expandable storage is about to become a thing again? Because I just found somebody else that has run out of Google storage. So
I see what you're saying.
It's
So
more
you mean
of
in
a
the phone? You mean in the phones in themselves?
no. So it's more. They make more money by selling you a phone. I remember.
I think in Google's case, they're not going to, but I think the Samsung
of course
A
not
line,
Google.
Samsung A line. Oh yeah, it's
The
it's
A
all
line,
about
yeah,
that
but
SD card.
you ain't getting it back on them
Xiaomi's,
flagships.
you're not going to get them on flagships. Those are done.
It's going to be a budget feature, just like headphone jacks. But then also, I bet
I was
you
just gonna say that.
a specific company like Sony, where they've made that sort of the DNA of their camera and their phone experience, it'll probably stay there. But it's going to be super, super lean on premium phones moving forward.
Yeah,
because it's like.
So I would like to say something about cloud storage. So
Jesus.
My bad. I keep forgetting. My bad. Dang it.
I have Microsoft OneDrive, and it does not compress the video or picture files that you put in there.
I'm
So
just
that's
not
an
finding out
alternative.
that Google Drive did that. I never knew
Yeah.
that. I didn't notice. So
So
I guess it ain't a
Samsung made
problem.
everyone switch over to Microsoft OneDrive if you already had a Samsung account.
Yeah.
And that gives you 15 gigs. But I have 1 terabyte because I pay yearly for Microsoft Office, and so
I was just gonna say that. I paid like 3 years when I got my Surface Book, and I got like 200 gigs right now on my Samsung Cloud. I think they just transferred that over for like a year for free.
Yes,
but I know it's
for
integrated into the Samsung Cloud, so that's why I'm going over to OneDrive. And Google Photos is losing out on that ability to get your free photos uploaded. So I got to go somewhere.
Go and get
It's gonna be
OneDrive right now. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm
about to do a
most of my
video
stuff through
tomorrow
OneDrive, too.
on how to integrate it.
I'm just
over.
wondering if this is going to create an opportunity for competition to Google. I think they're about to lose their security of.
Oh, it already has. Amazon is making a huge play.
Oh, yeah,
on
Amazon.
consumer cloud, and
They
Microsoft
have-
has been hitting them pretty hard with like individual partnerships like Samsung. So I think Google's got to see that they're gonna customers are gonna start moving around.
Yeah.
I mean, for schools though, it ain't gonna make no difference. But
Yeah, for schools, it's not gonna.
they're sticking with Google Drive for like, and just the whole Google Drive or Google Suite.
Yeah, the show.
Yeah, I listen.
Oh my goodness! This big ass spider just dropped down and decided to land on my laptop.
You handling it a lot better than I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, you way better than I would.
I can't would have been across the room right now.
I would have been.
What happened to Gigi?
Oh man, as long as you like never run into a situation where a spider's just hanging down from your roof and you don't even notice it, you just randomly walk into it. Oh, that happened to me once, and I went crazy.
Latrell, wait until it happens when you're in the shower.
Nah,
I've a few centipedes in my shower before.
Don't ever be in a
So
situation.
vulnerable.
Don't ever be in a situation where you see a spider
Somebody say
crawling across your
shower.
floor, and you see it crawling across your floor, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and just smack it with my flip flop, and then you smack it, and you realize, oh, it was a big spider because it had a bunch of babies that are now crawling through my carpet. I can
Wolf
see.
spider.
You put
Hey,
Siemens,
hey,
Yeah.
I just can't
late
deal with
last
centipedes.
month,
That's
the
my
whole-
biggest problem.
Yeah, Juan, I emptied a whole can of Raid within like
What is that
like
sound?
5
It sounds
feet on
like
my
somebody's
carpet.
fapping.
Only
Oh,
way
you-
to be sure. It's the only way to be sure.
Oh, you can
Yeah,
look
woman.
if somebody
Easy.
was in my
Turn the
in
hot
my-
water on.
Siemens last
off in the ground.
last comment up.
Oh, full resolution.
Oh
So
yeah,
this-
they
I
have
think-
Google Drive no longer.
I think.
Oh no, it was
Yeah, I think you have this as well, Latrell. So if you have an Amazon account, you get unlimited full resolution.
But here's the thing,
photo.
man. It's
Yeah, I
unlimited
use-
now.
Now,
they're gonna be
Yeah,
just like Google
but
did.
just like Google, when they get enough of your data, they
But
nope.
They're gonna close the door.
but you pay for it in your Prime membership.
in your Prime membership, but they still probably
Yeah,
There's a
that's
difference.
true.
You're already paying for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I mean, you already pay for
But
it.
I'm
Prime
gonna
Video
migrate to
and
OneDrive. I
all
think
these
that's
other
what I'm gonna do.
services.
I'm gonna migrate.
But I haven't used Amazon Photos in years though. Like my last picture that I uploaded on there was like 2018 maybe.
I forgot about Amazon Photos.
That's what people started reminding me about Amazon Photos after Google Drive started shutting that whole thing down. I was like, what? They still have that thing? That's still a thing?
But it's
I
also
forgot
just
about
funny. Like I'm looking at this lineup right now, thinking, wow, Microsoft might actually be the closest thing to a good guy in all of
Yeah,
these
it's
cloud
unbelievable.
data
And
storage
yeah.
companies.
Yeah,
Samsung making all these partnerships with Microsoft. I know this, so that's
Well,
gonna
I can
help
tell
push
you,
them
I
up
can tell
there.
you this much, that this has been a pretty interesting year, and more to come because
And it's
with
March.
chip shortage.
I was gonna
and
say it just
everything
started.
else.
Just because you bought 5 phones already, Eric, doesn't mean it's
Hey.
Shame on you, Eric.
Get 'em.
and
Shame on
King
you.
Pixel is got a Mi
865.
That's right. Pixel coming out. Samsung gonna drop the 855 plus processor in the A lineup. You know, it's gonna be a good year.
I still don't have a 2021 phone yet.
You're slipping, Kevin.
Me neither. It's me and you both.
Wait, how
Don't worry, they're gonna get that money out.
Yeah,
Say
she's
what?
got a couple of phones. They're not 2021 phones.
Yeah, I bought their 2020 phones.
Well,
Yeah, I
technically,
got like
our
end
phone
of the
is-
year 2020 phones, not 2021.
Is the Mi 11 2020, Barry, or is it 2021?
It technically is 2020. It came out last year. It was released. Yeah,
Like December, I want to say, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
But it didn't
really-
get released until January.
The
It
Global was out last year.
Global. I think the Global was about to release, but the Chinese variant was out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I
So
think about it. I'm trying to
we
see if I
right
have
at the
any
top of the
2021
aisle.
voices.
and I do want to say that I really appreciate my all-star panel, baby.
Do the air.
Oh yeah.
And,
We doing the air.
a huge shout out to
One,
Juan.
Not fun one.
I tell you what, if you're not subscribed to none of these guys' channels, what's wrong with you? Go ahead and subscribe
Serious
to the
problems.
channels. Make sure y'all subscribe to Wine. Everybody know why. I ain't nothing. Wine is the man. I ain't
Wine's
shit.
the
So
man.
make sure you subscribe to Wine Back Now. And
then you get to see Eric and Juan buy all these phones.
and
Don't be like Eric and I.
Don't do
that.
Let me tell you something. I talk about this.
Hey, them two forces together.
I talk about this in my live streams and my videos. Do not be like me. Trust me. I wish that I could go back 2 or 3 years and not buy half the shit that I bought. Trust me, I could have bought a house. So don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be like us. So
don't be like.
You can tell when Eric lying, but go ahead.
Right. that's what I'm over here like. Yeah, lie again.
You know, when you're a diehard tech guy, you love technology. That when you look at something that it tickle your fancy. Hey, you get it. It is what it is, right?
You lost me there, but
No, I'll say for 2021, I would try to make this the year that you do things with your tech as opposed to making the tech the entertainment.
I was gonna say it's fun. It's fun. It's fun buying these different. It's expensive, but it's fun.
It's fun and inexpensive. But I'd really love to see. I've been getting a few more comments on some of my videos from people that are like, I'm holding on to this phone a little bit longer, and I'm trying these things that I never would have tried just because I'm more familiar with it. And that kind of stuff, I think, is going to be a bit more crucial. A lot of this stuff is going to be a lateral move. We see Snapdragon 870s and 860s, and
870s they're unbelievable processors. So it's like you really don't need garbage if you have an 870.
I feel like most of our daily driver needs were handled like 3 years ago, for like social media and stuff. Yep. So I think this is going to be a good year to slow play or to just like, hey, what I've got right now, let me see how much farther I can push it. Let me try and do something new with this gadget that I've never done before, rather than just always trying to find the excitement by unboxing the new shiny.
It sounds like a conversation I had with LB like 2 months ago.
Seriously, Valley, plugging everybody in the chat right now.
But that's the wavelength, isn't it? Though I mean, it's like that's the feel right now, and especially with some of the early moves that we've seen. I don't see where like a phone from this year is going to do so much more than a phone from 2 years ago that you're really going to get left behind.
Hey, the S10 Plus is still a beast phone in 2021.
The S10 Plus is performing at near the same level as the S21 pre-throttled by Samsung. So out of the box, if you buy that S21, you're kind of playing in S10 territory until you turn up that CPU.
And Eric, you can preach on that Note 9 too. You always talk about your Note 9.
I always
Note 9
talk
is a
about
great
the Note
phone.
9. Yeah, I always talk about the Note 9,
It may not get updates anymore, but it's still you can't sleep on it.
The thing about it is on Android 10 that it's still good for 2021. So you still good for 9
2.1 or
months.
2.5.
2.5.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wireless decks and all that stuff.
Are we moving into a market where somebody like back in the day, HDA, what was it? XDA, they used to do all
XDA forums,
They used to do,
and they still do. They still do a lot of ROMs. If you're talking the custom ROM,
oh yeah, the custom ROM community is still strong.
On the coverage of what Samsung will, cover a device.
They still correct. They still.
They don't get me started on HDA.
Do y'all feel like
what was your point, Ellie? I'm just go ahead.
No, I was saying because the hardware is fully capable, right? And the only reason this stuff is not extending is because they're only promising 3 years support.
Hey, so I would say I don't know if people is gonna be as enticed to like put custom ROMs on there, because at least for Samsung, if you go in the Galaxy store, I'm sure you see it all the time. There's an update for the dialer, there's an update for the browser, the camera app, and the notes and the settings, maybe even like there's a lot of components of the software get updated through the Galaxy store, even if you don't get software updates. So
and then on top of that, Google Play updates are tackling more of our security issues now. So you're not completely left out in the cold. Some of these threats are still being tackled by Play system updates. But even then, a lot of this is still also going to be consumer behavior. Don't go installing sketchy APKs from websites you don't know. Don't click on every single thing in your browser. It's kind of the same common sense stuff that
really ain't necessary to install APKs at all.
So do you guys do y'all think that Samsung, because I know Samsung did this, I want to say this was like 5 or 6 years ago when this happened. Do you guys think that there's a likelihood they might do what they did with the S6? Like they did with this lineup. So like with the S6, they took away SD card and they got such a huge backlash that they brought it back. You know, they're going to bring it back.
I don't think they're bringing it back.
S21 is a super successful. They're making so much money on S21 right now. They're not bringing anything back.
I know a lot of people are seeing with the S21.
When he ordered his S21, he got the 128 white because it was discounted because I guess it's not selling as well as the black one. The black is completely sold out, and it's just like,
nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen a few S21s around here already. People, I mean, they're gonna buy it regardless, even if the tech community. Oh, look at that.
Wake up.
We didn't hit the top of the hour.
He me in my tracks. He stopped me in my tracks. He saw that.
I get to be on a live stream with you like
boy.
once a year, and you're tapping out. Come on, man.
I'm just wondering if Trent caught that. I'm wondering if Trent caught that. That's all I'm wondering.
I didn't even notice he was asleep this entire.
He wasn't asleep.
You
know what? He was dreaming about his next iPhone.
No, his new chair is so comfortable that he has to put his head back.
He was dreaming about that. He was dreaming about that 120 hertz on the iPhone 13. Hey, you know that's getting clipped right by somebody. That's going in the group chat.
We'll see that 20 minutes from now.
Right. Well, we're right at the top of the hour. I want to give a huge thanks to everybody that come through. Oh man, don't forget about next week. We're gonna talk about everything else in between. I don't know. We're gonna talk about tech. So make sure
don't forget about tomorrow, okay?
Yes, don't forget.
Don't forget about tomorrow.
That's right. We got Gadget Chats tomorrow, people. So make sure you be there.
Okay, so real quick, the guest, it will be Eric. Before we forget
He didn't mention that, but yeah, he's our guest tomorrow.
Yeah, the guest will be you, nigga. You will be the guest.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure y'all guys subscribe and make sure y'all follow Gadget Chats. We gonna be in the building, baby. Shout out to Juan back now. Shout out to everybody.
Juan was our first special guest.
Yeah, he was our very first guest on Gadget.
That's right. That's right. Thank y'all very much. We'll see y'all next Wednesday.